All right, this is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. This is Tyler Toby Townsend.
With Eric Carlson.
All right, we got Eric today. We worked together a little bit at Crunch for a little.
Yep.
And that was kind of fun. It was interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Very interesting. So we'll get right into it here. Gym update for me, it's going pretty well. Getting ready for that competition in July. And everything's just moving slow. I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
You know, it's like week 3 of getting back into it. And it's I'm being consistent, which is tiring. Right? I've also realized, like, the more weight you pick up, the more sets you got to do to get to the weight you need. Mm-hmm. And then the bigger the jumps are, especially with percentages. And then the less I can do after.
Yeah. With
the less accessories, all that other bullshit. I just can't be banging out sets of 10 anymore for anything. I just got nothing left.
Yeah. That endurance goes quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how's your gym doing?
Honestly, it's going. You know, I signed back up with Alec, about a month and a half ago. Unfortunately, I just run into issue after issue. So, I got sick and shit for like a week there. It took me out. And then I had to get a surgery to cut off some stuff, like a lipoma and some stuff. And then that set me back another week and a half.
And then you squatted right after.
Yeah,
right?
And then I tore it. Yeah. I had they did like a 6.5 inch cut on my leg, and then I went to work out like pretty soon after. Probably not the best idea, but I did upper body, and then I tore it open in the workout. Yeah. So I had to go get that stitched up, and that set me back another week. And then I've actually got another surgery coming up in like a week and a half. So like I said, it's been tough. You know, it's coming along, so I don't think I'm going to be back as soon as I thought I would be, you know, but we're shooting for, you know, get back into shape, get everything moving, and then hopefully start competing in the bigger shows at the end of the year, probably next year, end of the year, this year, somewhere around there. So
okay.
We'll see.
You got any shows in mind?
I mean, I was originally thinking the Rainier, but honestly, it's going to be in like end of April, May, and that's just not enough time.
Yeah.
To get back. You know, biggest thing I've noticed, like you probably, is just endurance. Yeah. Is dog shit.
Yeah.
I get in there, I start lifting, and then all of a sudden you go to the higher rep scheme, the accessory work, and I'm just burned out. I don't have the glycogen retention I used to. So that's been a little eye-opening. But I did take, a year and a half of not doing anything. Yeah. So it's not surprising, but not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, getting back to actually working out is pretty intense.
Yeah, I think, when you're in it, you don't realize how much time you're really dedicating to it.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, like the stronger you get, the longer you're in there, because it doesn't take nearly as long to warm up to a 400-pound deadlift as it does to a 600, as it does to an 800. You know, so you're adding time. Next thing you know, you're in there for 2 to 3 hours, 4 times a week. But that's just what you're doing. That's life, you know? And then when you step away from it and you start filling that time in with wife and games and just, different activities, and then you try to get back into it, that's when you're like, oh shit, I really was given this 12, 13, 14 hours a week just at the gym, not including meal prep, not including all the little things, the rehab, the prehab, the stretch and exercise, stuff like that. So it's a little mountain to climb, but I'm climbing it, so getting back.
Yeah, it's hard too. When I started really coaching quite a few people, it took a big decline in my actual working out, because I've already been here for 2 hours.
Yep.
Now I got to work out for 3. Like, god damn, I can't.
You already did the mental reps.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Over here watching everybody else do it, and
yeah,
it's exhausting being in there with somebody and keeping them where they need to be, keeping them in the same mood, and right now I'm teaching somebody how to switch it on. Mm-hmm. She's having a real hard time.
Yep.
Right. So it's one of those things where, like, relax between reps and then go. She's so used to hitting so quickly, like minute and a half between sets, and I'm like, this is real fucking heavy now. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I need your heart rate back down, right? Like, I need you to be able to hit this with everything you got, and it's difficult for her, but she is getting fucking strong. We have a chance April 4th. We're going to go do the natural. She's natural, She's like 127 pounds. She's tiny.
Okay, yeah.
But she's fucking strong. So if she wins national, this is a national one. We'll be going to Worlds in Scotland this year.
Oh shit, no, that'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm definitely
That'll
going.
Be a trip, yeah.
Dude.
Some manhood stones over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit I want to do everywhere, but it'll be the first time I'm going with like a real serious athlete on one of these trips. So it'll be cool for me, but yeah, it's a trip, dude. Watching somebody get so fucking strong.
Yeah, like and the coaching, it's rewarding, but like you said, when you're in there all day, coaching clients through form and all this, you're doing the mental reps with them. You're getting mentally excited. Like your CNS is still firing, and you know what I mean. And then you're like, oh, all right, time for me to lift. You've just been doing this for 8 hours. You're like, it's hard to find that switch, especially when you take that time off.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I think it's just consistency, just kind of getting back in that mindset, getting back in that lifestyle. I know I've made a lot of changes in the past couple of weeks to try to. My big thing is I've always taken it half-ass. I will say, like, and that might piss some people off, because I've just been blessed. I would say, with my journey, but I've always, and that's something that's always pissed off my wife, is my food's always been shit. The training's been great, but I don't do the prehab. I don't do the rehab. I don't do the stretching. I don't do the little stuff that I get everybody else to do.
Yeah.
But I'm just good enough to get by without it.
Yeah.
But how much better could I be if I actually focused? Even in the last, I haven't, I quit smoking weed like 2 weeks ago. I've been smoking almost every day for 20 years.
Wow.
I've trained high, I've competed high. Most people probably don't know me sober.
I didn't even know you smoked.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But it's something that I used, I started for fun, in college, and then it just kind of became a thing. And, it's definitely affected my lifting career. Yeah. And affected my, I was high at the Arnold, I was high at OSG,
Jeez.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. So it's like, I've scraped by doing the minimum. What can I do if I actually do the maximum? And so I've changed up a lot of things in my approach. I'm stretching, I'm going to bed. Now I wake up at 4:45 every day because I have work. But that's kind of helped me kind of get back on track, stop smoking. I've been eating properly. Just kind of taking care of myself, getting back into it. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm not old, but I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. I got into the sport at 28. So a little, obviously a difference. Yeah. But if I'm going to do it, I need to do it right. There's no point in getting back into the sport if I'm just going to fuck around again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think I came to that realization. A little late, maybe. Yeah. But at least I got there.
Well, it is one of those things where I feel like the real athletes come out in this second awakening thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like you got really, really good on just pure willpower to be there, and because you enjoyed it and all this other shit. Now it gets to the point where real work's got to be done, because it's not always as enjoyable as it used to be.
Yeah, it's I've always said, funny enough, whenever I'm in the middle of a comp, I'll be like two or three lifts in, or events in, and I'll sit down and I'm fucking tired and I'm beat up and I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? But the second that competition ends, that fire's under my ass, and I'm like, all right, when's the next one?
Yeah.
Let's get it, And I'm trying to find that fire again. Because it is hard, especially when you take that amount of time off to just kind of, hey, I'm going to get back, and I'm going to get back to a 400-pound strict press. I'm going to get back to a 440 overhead. Those are big numbers. Those aren't just going to fall back into place like that. So, plus you got to take care of yourself now. Yeah. Getting a little older. I herniated my, L1 through L3 at OSG back in 23. And that's actually why I took that time off. But, just being aware of that too. I want to be able to walk when I'm done with this sport.
Yeah.
I want to, that's the whole reason I quit playing football in college, was I tore my knee apart. And my dad, he had played college ball, Air Force. He didn't pass the physical to go to the NFL because his knees were so blown the fuck out. Shit. And then when I grew up, he couldn't run around with me, couldn't play ball, you know what I mean? And I always told myself I didn't want to be like that. I want to be able to play with my kids when I have them. And so I think the older you get, you know, when you're young, you're headstrong. You're like, fuck it, nothing's
Yeah.
gonna kill me. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. And now I'm getting a little older. Talking about kids, you know, I'm married now, and it's like I want to be there for her. I want to be there for our future kids, and not be in constant pain.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my priority. You know, be strong but be healthy, right? Whereas before it was just be strong. Who gives a shit? I'll be fine. You know. So I think that mentality's shifted.
Yeah, that's definitely a different. I feel like every single decision, every single big life choice that happens has a positive and negative, right?
Yep.
I had kids real young, but that also means I'm getting pretty close to being done right there. Like the youngest is 11, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So running around with them, doing all that other shit, like they're getting to the point where the 11-year-old's still running.
Yeah.
That's it. 14-year-old doesn't give a shit that I even exist. Neither does the 17-year-old, right? So like it's something that was great starting young, but at the same time, like the wisdom wasn't there, right? Like the ability to stay calm, you know, when these kids are screaming and crying, the ability to sit there and look and appreciate the time when they're little was never there. I was like 17.
Yeah.
This is not a good move.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, like 7 years, they'll be all out of the house, and they'll be, you know, it's like you said, pros and cons.
Right.
So whereas,
well, you're starting, right? You have to worry about being able to run with them.
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
all that shit.
I'm gonna be fucking gray, but my kids in high school, like at this point, you know, I always said I didn't want to be the old dad because my dad was an old dad.
Yeah.
And I'm right on that track.
It's okay, though,
Which is fine, as long as I'm physically capable of doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as I'm not limited because of my poor decisions, that's okay. You know, so I think that's the goal right now.
So on that, I'm very intrigued. I didn't know you smoked. I had no idea.
Yep.
Right? You're a pretty functioning member of society here. I've constantly wondered. I haven't smoked for a long time. I tried it again. I have asthma. Not a good move for smoking. And then edibles. Jesus Christ.
Knock
right?
down.
Like, dude. Like, and you are just that high.
Yeah.
Like, there's no choice, no sleeping, no eating, nothing. You were that high, and I couldn't handle it. It was too much for me. But I know there's a lot of people who say you get more out of training being stoned because it relaxes your body, so it shocks and hits your muscles harder. You got anything on that?
So here's what I'll say. I'll say I would agree with that to some sense, okay? Like, especially if you're doing like a hypertrophy workout, certainly. You're going to get, so when you smoke, the blood pressure is going to go up, you're going to increase blood flow, you know, heart rate's going to go up, you get that mind-muscle connection a little bit better, right? So I would say, like, smoking and doing a hypertrophy workout or bodybuilding, depends, you know, depends what you're doing. Smoking and training for strength, I'd say that's a whole different ballgame, you know? It's going to throw off your equilibrium. I don't want that higher blood pressure when I've got 400 pounds on my chest.
Yeah.
Right? I need my oxygen. I need my air. Plus, if you time it wrong and you don't, like it's all about the timing too. If I smoke an hour before I go lift, by the time I get to lifting, I'm already tired.
Yeah.
Like I'm mentally already on the decline. So it's like now I got to smoke again to bring myself back up. I got to take my pre-workout, right? Especially if you're smoking all day, right? So yes and no. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're doing more hypertrophy stuff, if you're only in there for an hour and you want to use it for that, yeah. But at the same time, you got to remember the other effects, right? It affects your thyroid. It affects your recovery, right? You get better body recovery, but you get worse mental recovery because you don't get into that same REM cycle that you normally would.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pros and cons, you know what I mean? Yeah. Here and there, not a problem. If you're smoking every day, all day like me, that's a problem, right? You're at that point, you're addicted. You know, I would say I was addicted to marijuana. That's
something everyone. Oh, it's not addictive. It's not. Anything can be.
They also
addictive.
say you don't get withdrawals, but I could fucking argue that.
Yeah.
Like night sweats, puking in the morning.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. I mean, they didn't discover marijuana hypermesis until what was it? Fucking like 10 years ago, maybe, if even. I would say.
Even know what that is.
So what it is when you smoke so much, you wake up every morning and you puke bile.
Wow.
Because your stomach's generating extra bile. Because it's endocannabinoids are in your stomach as well. So they're affecting the receptors. So, like, I was waking up puking every morning for years. I didn't know what the problem was, you know, until they discovered because when it finally got legalized in Colorado, they started recognizing a lot of people coming in with these symptoms.
Yeah.
And the only thing that helps would be like a hot shower in the morning. So every morning I have to wake up and hop in the shower, and it would delay it, but I'd still puke. So I was puking every morning for a while there. So it you know, but you think, hey, let me smoke more because I'm nauseous.
Yeah.
So it can't be the weed. It's got to be something else. It's got to be I'm just, you know, producing too much bile. But see, I ran into the same issue before I smoked. Because when I played college ball, I would puke every morning too.
Jeez.
So that might just be a combination of both things.
Yeah.
You know, I actually ended up quitting college football because I was having so many issues with my stomach. And then after I tore my knee apart, I was like, it's not worth it. But no, it's definitely addicting. I say mentally. You know, for a small subset of people, it can definitely be addicting.
Yeah.
And then there are physical withdrawals. You get
yeah.
the night sweats. You can't eat food for like a week. You get the headaches. You get this, you know. It's so I feel much better now. Training feels better. I'm not going through like that fog of war every day. You know what I mean? I'm not waking up thinking, oh, I need to smoke. It's just waking up and doing something else, you know. So I think that's going to be the biggest difference, honestly. Going forward is just I'm not going to be high when I'm lifting, I'm not going to be high when I'm competing, and I'm going to be clear mentally and physically, you know. So I think that's really the key that I needed to get to where I want to go.
Well, I feel like sometimes giving up something real big in your life for something that's you want to be bigger, even if it physically helps you, that mental decision of I will give this up for this is a really big deal.
Yeah, it's you got to decide what's more important to you: feeling good and high for a little bit, or feeling good all the time. You know what I mean? Right. And I'd rather feel good all the time. Plus, you don't think about the impact on the lungs. You know, cardio was always my. Growing up, my cardio was fucking insane. Like I used to wrestle, I played rugby. I started both ways in high school football. I was on special teams. The only thing I wasn't on was kickoff, which always pissed me off because I wanted to be on kickoff. I wanted to smash somebody. But my cardio was phenomenal. When I got to college, they had us run, what was it, like 17, 110-yard sprints, testing out how our endurance was. And I was pulling off running back speeds, like with the guys. I was keeping up with the running backs and wide receivers because I also grew up at 7,000 feet altitude.
Oh, shit.
You know, so my blood oxygen level was much higher. And then as I got into strongman, it was still there, but I noticed it got worse. The more I was smoking, the more I got put on weight. You know, I started out, my first competition was actually a USS Winter Rumble out in Austin, Texas at Big Tech's gym. Trained for 3 months. I got first. It was great. I loved it. But I was only 270 pounds, you know, and I realized, hey, I might be good at this. So, but if I am, I need to add some weight. It was around that time I actually met my future wife, and I was like, hey, if I'm going to compete in this sport, I need to add at least 30 pounds. I need to get to 300, and then from 300 I went to 330, all the way up to 365 at my highest weight, you know. Right now I'm sitting at like 315, 320, much healthier, feel a lot better. I don't get out of breath tying my shoes anymore. But I think a lot of us start chasing that size as well, because that's what strongman kind of is. You know, everybody's like, oh, big bad strongman, like, but you don't have to be big and fat, you know. And even at my fattest, I was only like 21% body fat, but it was just too much weight for my body, you know. So
I got up to 320 at 5'8".
Yeah,
and I
you
felt
feel
like
it.
Shit.
Feel it every fucking step, man.
Every step. My knees, my ankles, even just breathing was hard.
Yeah, I'd be talking on the phone and I'd be fucking like you're like, oh, you record a video and people are like, why are you breathing so hard? You're like, I'm just sitting down, dude. Like, you know, and that's a problem. And that just got exacerbated by the smoking, you know. So I noticed my cardio got way worse, which started affecting my training. But again, I was addicted. So that wasn't enough for me to stop. You know what I mean? It's just, I just need to do some cardio. But would I do it? No. Fuck no. You know what I mean? Would I do the rehab work? No, I wouldn't. I would just go in, get out, go home, smoke, eat food, go to bed. Go to bed at 2, 3 a.m. every morning, like sleep with shit. So really, that's why I always, like I said, upset my wife, because like she knew my potential. And she knew what I was doing to destroy my potential.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like two clashing ideas, really. So now everything's kind of lined up. You know, I'm doing everything right, and we're going to see where I can get to. See if I can get back to where I was and hopefully get further, you know.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of where I'm at now, you know.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I was thinking about OSG the other day. I'm talking to Lynn.
Yeah.
And so since I'm not doing, I'm not going to do USS for my Psychotic Swing Showdown again. I was going to talk to him about maybe making that an OSG qualifier.
Yeah.
In February, right? So we have the space to do it. Whether or not it depends on what it turns into. Because if there's like 100 fucking athletes in that gym, okay, now we need space.
Yeah.
Right. But we figured that out too because there's a CrossFit gym right next door, and we'd be able to use that as just event space, and then we can have everybody warm up in the gym and whatever the fuck. So we're figuring it out, and I think it'll work out really well. I just got to figure out kind of the specifics on what he wants and how that works. So.
I don't know. Because I know there's always one in South, like in Texas.
Yeah.
Which was nice because I was always there.
Yeah.
And then there's always one in the North. I mean, I know they have, but yeah, I'd love one up here.
Yeah.
So just to qualify there. Because, yeah, I actually injured myself doing the online qualifier for it in 224. But, yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah. I love Lynn. Lynn puts a lot of heart into the sport.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people don't, especially this last OSG.
Yeah.
A lot of people got on Lynn. Because of the payouts and stuff, but what people don't realize is he's not pocketing that money.
Yeah.
Like everything he makes goes right back into the sport, right back into the event. And I think what happened, honestly, this last OSG, the reason why it ended up that way, is because for many years they hosted OSG in smaller towns, you know, smaller venues where they got really good incentives to come in because those venues needed us, right? We hosted it in Dallas, Fort Worth this year.
Oh shit!
They didn't need us.
Yeah.
Right, like.
So he paid full price.
Yeah. Like everybody. Yeah, they could care less if we were there or not. So they're not going to give us a discount. But at the same time, all the international athletes would complain because it was hard to get to those venues. Because the airport would, you know, they'd have to get a car and drive an hour or two to get there and stuff. You know, so everybody wanted an international airport, bigger city, and that's what you get. When you do that, it's a lot more money, so it's a lot less money for the athletes. And already in a sport where athletes don't get a lot of money anyway, unless you're the top of the top. And even then, most of those guys are working second jobs. Yeah. They're not just doing strongman. Right. I had somebody ask me, funny enough, at my job, they were like, well, why are you here if you're so good at strongman? I was like, because I chose a sport to be good at that pays no dollars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you've got a big social media presence. Yeah. You're really not pulling or winning, like you said, the big shows. Yeah. You're really not making money in this sport. You're doing it for the passion. You're doing it because you love it, and you love the community, and So, like I said, I think partnering with Lynn would be great. And he's brought a lot of attention to the sport. He helped me out a ton hosting America's Strongest Man.
Oh, nice.
Back in 24 out of Iron Forge, we had that whole big live stream show. Cool. Yeah, no, I think having an OSG event up here would be great. Now, I'm biased because I live here, but you know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of people, too, and even people having to come down just from Seattle. Yeah. That's not far. No, it's like 2.5 hours of driving.
There's a lot of strong guys in this area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and ladies. Yeah.
And lots of ladies.
A lot of strong women out here.
So we had 30 competitors at the last competition. Mm-hmm. 10 of them had never done this before, ever. Yeah. So I'm doing a pretty good job of reaching out and getting newbies to try. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think 8 out of those 10 people were women. Yeah. And I was like, this is pretty cool. We're getting a lot more women involved in this sport where they're understanding their potential. A lot of women, for some reason, I don't know why they think they're like competing against the men or like there's no weight classes.
Yeah. I think strongman's misunderstood. Plus, it's called strongman, not strong people. You know what I mean? There we go. But, you know, so... And they've always grown up watching World's Strongest Man. There is no World's Strongest Woman, you know, unfortunately.
Well, we could do that.
But, you know, women have seen a big growth in the sport, I would say. You know, they've got, you know, they're doing the Arnold show. Like, there's been a lot more opportunities for strong women in the recent years. Yeah. And I think that's great. Yeah. Because how are you going to not focus on half the population? Right. Right? Like, you got to.
That's a really big deal, man.
Yeah, you got to bring them in. I mean, there's husbands, they have wives, they want to compete too. They see them out there having fun. Their husband's at the gym for 3 hours a day. Like, they want to be part of that. You know, my wife wants to go to the gym when I'm there. She doesn't. Now my wife doesn't necessarily want to do strongman.
Yeah.
But she wants to be part of it. She wants to be there. She wants to see what I'm doing. She wants to know the community. It's a great community. Community's half the reason I joined strongman.
Yeah.
You know, I did powerlifting before, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But I got bored.
Yeah.
You know,
it's very easy.
and it's
to
kind
get
of
bored.
a solo sport, and I feel like a lot of powerlifters are angry at each other. At least in my experience, you lift with your friend, but like it's a lot more rivalry as opposed to camaraderie.
Interesting.
In my experience,
I was never super into it. I started with strongman, like because that was what I was introduced to. I had a weight loss journey that was going too well.
Yeah.
And I looked like shit.
Yeah.
Right? Everything was all saggy and nasty. I was like, fuck. So I tried to build it up, and a friend of mine from the gym who was a powerlifter was like, you are stupid strong.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And so he sent me to a coach, and that's what started it. And then I just started competing immediately. I did 8 shows my first year.
Oh, shoot. You
It
had
was
the
fucking
experience.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of his things, which I now integrate into my own coaching, where everybody's like, "Oh, well, I want to get to here before I start." No, go compete. Learn how to do that. Learn what it looks like.
Learn how to manage yourself in a competition before you step on the big stage.
It's pretty intense. I want a 600-pound deadlift before I go. Like, that's going to take a minute too if you're doing this right. So like, let's just get you up there, have a good time, enjoy the sport, be immersed in it, you know, and learning how to compete's a bitch.
Yeah.
Like I found out that powerlifting for me, coaching that, it's a lot stricter than strongman. Like strongman, you really just have to. The problem is there's 300 things that strongmen do.
There's so many movement patterns. A baby can squat. A baby can deadlift. Yeah. Right. Those are natural movements. I can teach a baby how to bench. Yeah. Right. But a bench isn't even a natural movement. I always say, you know, when are you ever in this position with your arms and elbows back behind your back, and fully only on a bench, you know? Strongman's much more functional, but there's so many movement patterns that you have to learn, so many events to train for differently. You might be a good presser, but you're a terrible deadlifter. You might be a great deadlifter, but you can't carry a frame worth of shit. Yeah. You might be able to have the grip like all you can, but you can't do sandbag carries and like, you know what I mean? There's always something to work on, always something to improve, and that's what I like. Because it's rare, I always say, it's rare to have a combination of a great presser and a great deadlifter. Yeah. It's even rarer to have a great presser, a great deadlifter, and a great grip. Yeah. Usually the really good guys will have 2 out of the 3, but to have 3 out of the 3, that's what makes a great strongman or woman. You know what I mean? It's much more. I've found the camaraderie and the community in strongman has been what's kept me around. You know, going to strongman Sundays, seeing people that you know from competition to competition, helping each other out, but also wanting to compete against them at their best. Yeah. You know, I don't want to beat you when you're injured. Right. I want to beat you when you're at your best, so I can say I beat you at your best. Right? Well,
and I want to beat you at multiple competitions.
Yeah. Right. Multiple events.
Because you may have sucked at this competition just because the events sucked for you. Yeah. You're just not good at those things. Well, if we've competed 3 times against each other and I beat you every time, go ahead and tell me it was the competition.
No, I know.
Right,
exactly. I know there was recently some drama, I don't know if you saw with Jacob Finnerty. So he posted on his Instagram, and Jacob's a strong guy, okay? Nobody's denying that. He's got several world records on, like, I think stone to shoulder and stuff like that. Strong guy, big guy. But he posted, he was talking shit and saying that there was only 2 guys in the pro circuit that could outpress him. Oh. That was quickly debunked. Yeah. Right? I think Nico Greek Goliath posted this big old thing with like 15 dudes. He went back through the competitions that Finnerty had done, and he was like, well, going back through the competitions, these 15 guys have beaten you, and half of them aren't even on the pro circuit. So, jeez. And but you know, all power to Finnerty, he was like, hey, you know what? He's like, you're right. He's like, I overstepped. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. My bad. You know what I mean? But he pissed a lot of people off. Which is funny, but controversy gets views. You know what I mean?
Well, and social media is so hard. You know, sometimes you get worked up and you say some shit, and then
shit, that's me all the time.
Yeah, it gets a lot of people in trouble.
It does. It really does. You know, once you put it out there, it's out there. Yeah. You know, hard to take that back.
So. Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. So, how is your following social media? All that other stuff,
man. I mean, I haven't posted shit. I've barely been posting since I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
In my mind, people follow me for my lifting. Like, they don't want to see my daily bullshit, you know? But now I'm realizing, like, I just post what I want. I don't really care. You know, if you follow me because you like me, not just because I'm a strong guy. But, you know, I've always been, I don't have a huge following. You know, I did that Twitch thing for a while, and that was blowing up. You know, I was just streaming my workouts. You know, I was getting a couple hundred. I would get like an average about 100 viewers during a lifting session, which was great. You know, super fun. But I also found it was taken away from my training because I'm not as focused, not as locked in. I'm trying to entertain at the same time as lift, and that's no way to prepare for a competition. You know, so I don't think that media outlet for me worked well. It just became overwhelming. You know, I got Twitch partner within the first month, which was amazing. That never happens to anybody, or very rarely. That's very rare. And I still that. So I thought about picking it back up, but it would have to be in a different capacity, more, like out of competition, more just kind of training, showing techniques and stuff, rather than training into a competition. Maybe like a YouTube series would be better for that, you know, because you just film it, post it, and forget it. No big deal. But the live streaming for me was too much. But I sometimes I think if I had stuck with that, I guarantee I'd be doing much better. I mean, I was paying my mortgage with my live stream money.
Oh, shit.
You know, like, it was good money. It wasn't bad money at all. It was just, it became too much for me to keep up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hard, man. All I do is like Instagram lives. And
yeah.
Even there, I mean, I get quite a few people looking. But I think the only reason it goes well is because I have the memory of a hamster. So I have now forgotten this is up. It will literally go at the end of a live stream. You'll probably see about 45 minutes of me just chatting with people at the end because I forgot I did that. Yeah. Because when I'm working out, my phone's over there. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about that phone. I don't care what's going on. None of it. So it was also interesting. Lily's working out with me. She's getting ready for a competition. And she's like, oh, I recorded you doing this and that. And I'm like, you're not posting any of that. None of it. Like, I am too competitive to let the people who I'm competing against see what you're doing. Yeah, dude. See that? So that's I've always thought that was a funny one for me because here's my thing, right? Like, I always get in my athletes. You know, people post the roster. Arnold roster comes out. Everybody's Googling each other. Oh shit! What is this guy doing? Oh shit! What that guy does not change a fucking thing in my training. Yeah. Right? Like, no matter if this guy is 50 pounds under what I'm lifting or 50 pounds over. Yeah. That doesn't do fuck all for my strength. Yeah. I'm where I am. I'm competing against myself. Right? Like, I am competing against y'all, but I'm competing against myself. Set a better weight, set a better record. I know where I'm going to kind of end up, right? I'm not suddenly going to gain 100 pounds on my deadlift. Right. So if this guy's stronger than me, he's stronger than me. It is what it is. No point in stressing out about it, because who gives a shit if he's got a great deadlift? He might not have a good press. He probably doesn't, like we just talked about, right? If I'm confident in what I can do, and the thing about strongman too is it's a points game. Yeah. I don't have to beat you in every event. I can place top 5 in every event and win the whole fucking show. Yeah. Right? As long as I don't fumble one really hard, which I did at OSG. Yeah. But, you know, like, it's, so I always tell my guys, I'm like, quit looking. Yeah. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Certainly you can see what they're training, but, like, take it with a grain of salt, because it literally doesn't affect you at all, and you're just stressing your CNS and stressing yourself out for no reason. You see this guy with a great record, and people post bullshit all the time. Yeah. And what they do in comp sometimes doesn't even line up with what they're doing, right? Yeah. Like, sure, they just peaked for this lift, but are they actually peaking properly? You know, they just did that lift 6 days out from comp. Yeah. Is he going to be able to mimic the exact same thing 3 events in after he just had little recovery? You know what I mean? Like, it's so different. So I say keep an eye on it, but don't take it to heart. Well, that's the thing too, is I'm not researching. Yeah. I don't do none of that shit, but I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I don't want to know what they're doing because I really don't give a fuck. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you also get nothing from me. Right. You're going to show up and you better be concerned. Who the fuck is Tyler Toby? I know. Like there's all these lifts I have on here, but, like, these are, like, fucking almost a year ago. Yeah. And they're like, well, where's he at now? I'm like, be nervous. See, I like him to know. Really? I wanted to know. I wanted to see me put up that 400-pound strict press and be like, oh, fuck.
okay, well, Eric's gonna
Yeah.
beat me on the log, right? But I also don't like to post, and that's my thing now. Is like I'm getting back into it, and I'm so used to posting certain weights that it's almost like it's not worth it to post what I'm doing now because I feel like a pussy. I'm like, oh, I just did, this much for that. Who cares? Because I did 700 for 10 before, like, and that's impressive. But even those numbers, like, I find I get, I don't know, I don't know the word jaded. No, I just, like, you get used to big numbers, and then the little numbers don't mean shit.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be funny because somebody will be like, "Man, I got a 500-pound squat," and I'm like, "That's cool."
Good job.
Yeah, great, but like I'm
you.
thinking like I know guys your size doing 800, like and it is good. 500's great, you know what I mean? But I'm so used to these numbers, you're numb to the little stuff almost, and that's a problem because you're still doing the work, you're still in the gym, you're still committing yourself to it, like you're still progressing. Doesn't mean it's not worth posting.
Well, what I found hard is because this is my first full program cycle that I'm going through since I've gotten back into it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I'm at. I've dropped like 45 pounds, and I'm like,
it's like
my lifts are weird.
80%. 80% of what?
Yes.
My numbers from 2 years ago?
I cut 100 pounds off of all my other ones, and I'm going off that percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it's easy, some of it's fucking not. Like, my squat is just not moving.
Yeah.
I had 600 pounds on my back, and I could do that for sets of 5.
Yeah.
But now I got 1, and I'm like, thank God I didn't die. It's like, what the fuck's going on, man?
Yeah, it's hard to... Because in your mind, you're still that strong.
Yeah.
Like, even though you know you're not, you're used to that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a definite... That's been an eye-opener for me, getting back. And my problem is, and Alec put it really well, he's like, you got a Ferrari engine and a Honda body.
Shit.
Our biggest thing is we need to control your ass so you don't hurt yourself. Yeah. Because that's what I do. I'll push it when I shouldn't push it, right? Like I did... It took me 3 weeks. I was back to doing 325 overhead press.
Jeez.
For like a set of 6.
Yeah.
Should I have been?
Probably not.
Probably not. You know what I mean? I tweaked my rear delt a little bit. Yeah. But I can't stop myself. Yeah. You know? Because I'm used to 330 for 10 used to be just a good set for me. Yeah. Now it's like, that's a fucking max out. Like, that's an RPE 11, right? So yeah, it's getting back to it. It's a lot about finding that groove, but allowing yourself, I think, that time to get back. Yeah. You know, you don't have to. Like I was pushing for the Rainier, stupid. I haven't lifted in a year and a half. Yeah. Even if prep went amazingly, like that's a 3-month turnaround from nothing. Yeah. That's drastic, right? I need to give my joints time, my CNS time, my mind. Like I have to slowly get back into it. So.
Well, to do it right.
To do it right, yeah. You know, I don't just want to show up and do poorly because then people think, I don't know. Like, I had, what was it? I did, I did the Arnold, and I got 5th in the Arnold back in, 21? 22? I don't remember at this point. Like, I think it was 22. No, it was 20, it was 22 because I tore my meniscus in 22, I missed OSG. Yeah, so it was 22. And it was 2 weeks after the Arnold. They were hosting a USS Pro show at my local gym, and I was coaching a guy. The only reason I showed up was to coach him. I ate like a half a muffin. Showed up, and I had dropped that 340 fucking pound axle on my knee at the Arnold, so it was still swollen up like crazy. I had a huge blood contusion in there. It's kind of actually still in there. Luckily, nothing ever came out of it, but... And they were like, hey, we don't have enough people to qualify for the pro show. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like, because you had to have, I think it was 5 or 6 guys in the pro show to qualify for somebody to get the pro card. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's dog shit. Like, all these guys trained for, 3-4 months to get ready for this show just to show up and be told that you wasted your time, right? So they were like, yeah, will you compete? Just so that we can say there's 6 guys in the class, whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I was planning on just touching, just 0 in events or just like doing 1 because it is what it is. And then they were like, oh, well, we're live streaming it. And like Pena was announcing on it, and it's at my home gym, and I'm like, well, I can't look like a bitch. I just came from the Arnold. I got fifth. I can't go to a local show and like, no matter what, if no people are gonna see the score and they're gonna be like, oh, Eric got last. Like, oh, he must suck, you know. So I ended up borrowing some equipment, and I was in first place all the way to the last event. And I never wanted a USS Pro card because who gives a shit about that personally. And I ended up telling Big Dominic Creaky, I was like, hey man, we're on the last event. It was a 400-pound stone over bar for whoever could do it the most. And I said, I'm going to do one. I said, if you want to do one, then we can have some fun on the Moss Wrestling tiebreaker and I'll let you win. But we can put on a show for the people, just, you know, entertainment. I said, or if you want to do two and win, I said, you could do two and win. I won't. And he did, and he won, and he got his USS Pro card. You know, all the power to him. But then people were talking shit. His coach, funny enough, we had never met. I had never talked to his coach, and his coach didn't know me. And he posted that his athlete had beaten the guy that got fifth at the Arnold at the local show, and people got pissed off because they were like, "That's not fucking what happened." They're like, "Eric showed up just to get your guy the pro card." And since then, I talked to him. He apologized right once, you know what I mean, and. Me and Joshua talk all the time, but that's how I feel. I'm like, what? I can't show up and do poorly. People are gonna be like, well, Eric fucking sucks now. Like, you want to go and you want to be your best. So I'm never gonna show up to a show and not try to do, you know, not train hard for it, not be my best. And if I showed up to the Rainier, I wouldn't be my best.
And you know you'd push it to the actual.
And I'd push it, but and I'd probably hurt myself because I'm competing with other guys, and it is a chance at the North American Championships, which is great, and I would love to go, but I'm not ready, and I need to realize that, and that's something I think I've matured in, is realizing when to kind of hold off, and when to give it the gas, you know.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that with these. I've had the shoulder issues for a while. And they're healthy.
Yeah.
I got them ready.
They're feeling good. Yeah.
But now I'm pressing the fuck out of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm like, the other day I was pressing and I went, it's an axle bar. Mm-hmm. So there's not like finger rings, right? So you don't know all the time where you're at.
Yeah.
And I went for it and this right arm was just out too wide. And I went for that press and it started to hurt. I just fucking threw it. I was like, I am not doing this shit again. That was a year of trying to fix this goddamn shoulder.
It just takes one, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And first thing I do when I do an axle is I'll measure it out and I'll tape my rings on there because I'm very much line that shit up. Cause I have picked up an axle and you're off and you know. I love axle pressing. Way better than barbell. Fuck barbell press. Oh, it's fucking gross.
I like axle. I never use my thumbs, which is probably a problem. But for the weight I have at this next competition, I'm doing the 275 weight class. So the problem I have is I'll probably be lower than that.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be around like 250 for that. But it's a 255 axle clean and press.
Yeah.
And away. The press is the hard part, and I can double overhand that fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just from the ground to the sky. Pretty easy, dude. Yeah. Like, so I'm not concerned. It's just really, when I do that, I always end up, like, pausing and pulling my thumbs out for the press away.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I always take, like, an extra 3 seconds, and I have to figure out...
You do double overhand when you pick it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've always switch gripped it.
Well, that's the thing is, I hate this...
Yeah, you hate the flip? Yeah.
Well, so I double overhand as much as I possibly can, always work on grip, right? I went to a show, one of the Ugly Sweaters, and I had never touched an axle bar with knurling.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
So I've not trained in this, nothing. I went to double overhand this to my chest because that's how I've been training for the past 6 months, right? And then it just tore all the skin out my thumb. And so I couldn't fucking grab it like that. So now, the first time in 6 months, I'm now having to switch grip this fucking thing.
Yeah,
and I tore a piece of my bicep.
Yeah.
And it's the first event.
Yeah.
So I fucked my whole event by just not training that.
Yep.
And if I can double overhand it, it's easier, it's faster. That's what I'm going to do. Just with 255, I can do that all fucking day. But it was like almost, it was like 295 that I was doing that with, which I can do. It's just, again, I'm used to being able to slide my thumbs in on that flip, and it wasn't there because of the gnarling.
Yeah.
It didn't spin.
Yep.
So it was definitely fucking weird, but I hate the switch grip one. I want to be so strong that 315 I could fucking flip double overhand.
So here's my thing, like, and I always see this in nationals and stuff. The guys will train for the double overhand.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is that axle clean and press is on day 2. First event on day 2. You are fucking fatigued.
Right.
Unless you've ever done a 2-day show, you don't know how fucking fatigued you are. And what you used to do, what was easy before, is all of a sudden not easy, right? And grip is one of the first things to go when the CNS is gone. So I love seeing those guys that they post, like, they're bragging about it.
Yeah.
And then I see them on day 2, and I'm like, let's watch this guy. And then motherfucker, whoop, and I'm like, you gotta plan for the show, not necessarily.
I don't think I've ever done a 2-day event.
Fucking,
I can't imagine though, because I'm fucking wrecked the next day after.
Well, and I say this because I did that. I lived that. Like I was double overhand, and I think it was 315. My first nationals, clean and press, and it was the first event on day 2. And holy shit, I was like, whoo, God, this is heavy, you know. The fatigue, that especially, and I think the Arnold's only 2 days now, right? Friday, so. Saturday, yeah, and that's a weird format. I don't like that format personally. I don't like the show up, spend all that money, show up for 1 day, and then go the fuck home because you didn't make it, right? I think the 3-day, how we used to do it. 3 events first day, 3 events the second day, and then the top 10 for like the final 2 events, 3 events. I loved that format. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the 2-day format personally.
Interesting.
Because I'm spending $1,500 to get out there to compete for 1 day.
Well, and the prices, I looked at just going, they gouge the fuck out of you. Yeah, because they know what's going on. They know why you're coming. Yeah. And like the Monday after, the flight's like $2,500 to leave. I was like, dude.
Yeah, I was trying to go because I have a guy coaching. I'm coaching out there, and I was like, I can afford the flights, but I can't afford the hotel and everything else on top of it. I was like, if I could sleep on the floor, that's fine, you know. But that's I'm spending $2,000 to go coach, you know, and it's just not feasible. Like I wish it was. Yeah. At some point, I hope it is, you know. But not right now.
Or you'll be like Alec, and people are paying for that for you.
Yeah,
because they want you there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, and I've had clients pay. I went to Pennsylvania with one of my guys, good friend, good client, and we set the sandbag state record out there. You know, nice. But he paid my way, and that was great. You know, because it's expensive to travel all around the world. And like Alec goes. That motherfucker's everywhere.
Yeah. He really is. Yeah. Even shows I didn't think he's at. There he is slapping someone on the back. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you there? I know you're not in it.
Motherfucker is all over. Alec was one of the first strongman coaches I met.
Really?
Actually. I started out, I went to nationals with Taylor Goen was my coach. Great dude. Fucking love Taylor. He's a crazy motherfucker. I love him. And, went to nationals, and Alec kind of took me under his wing, and I was friends with one of his lifters, and, you know, Alec helped me with tips and stuff while I was out there. I was at the team house first night, nice. So I've known Alec since, like, the very start of my lifting career, actually, and, like, he's everywhere. I love Alec. Every time I see him, I'm like, this motherfucker.
I don't think I've ever even, like, shook his hand, but I've seen him probably 10 times.
Yeah. He's everywhere, and he coaches a lot of high level people, and he knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking to you too was one of those things where it blew my mind how long I've been doing this, how much I know or I feel like I know, and then talking to somebody like you and being like, I feel kind of dumb right now, you know, like not in a bad way at all. Yeah. It was really just eye opening at how much fucking knowledge is crammed into that big old head of yours. Like it really is like especially we started talking supplements, all that other stuff. Yeah. The big words, you know, are crazy to me. I don't know a ton of big words, but like
I love supplements is my thing.
So what would you recommend? Let's say this isn't a first time athlete, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they're about national level ish. What are you saying that should be in just their starter pack if we're talking supplements?
I mean, I go on and on. I got lists. Yeah. I mean, your basics. I mean, if you're not on creatine, you're missing out. If you're not on beta alanine, you're missing out, right? Obviously, you want a whey protein because it's probably going to be more anabolic and it's cheaper than any meat you can buy. Yeah. I personally am a big fan of glutamine. It helps with the stomach. Helps with a little bit of muscle recovery. I don't really take it for that. I help because it helps with the stomach lining. Okay. Feel like a lot of strongman. My thing is a lot of it's health focused, right? Because especially if you're not natural, right? A lot of us are pushing drugs, right? And a lot of us are overweight, already have high blood pressure, already dealing with these things, especially in the open heavyweight class. So are we taking stuff to help control that, right? Are you taking like horse chestnut, which helps with the pliability of your veins? Shit. Are you taking a fucking multivitamin? I mean, let's be honest, most of us don't eat well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff like that, right? Are you taking, collagen supplements? Are you taking... I mean, it just depends. I'm a huge fan of just taking low-dose telmisartan if you're just running TRT. Because the angiotensin receptor, like it helps bring it down, the blood pressure and the water retention just in the normal, just if you're on cycle, even if you don't have high blood pressure. Okay. It really is a case-by-case thing, I would say. But, like I said, I've got a whole supplement cupboard of stuff. Yeah.
Well, and you just went over I watched your whole thing on the difference between like a sponsored and affiliate athlete. That was pretty eye-opening too. Mm-hmm. I mean, the difference of I like the way you put it to where it was like these guys are getting a little kickback on like and they're making like 10 fucking bucks or whatever, whereas like you're like I have a set amount I'm allowed to spend on whatever the fuck I want.
I got $250 a month. Yeah. I get whatever I want. If it's protein, whether that and they're not, it's just not just name brand. And that's the thing, like a lot of these guys, I mean everybody we know has got a fucking affiliate code.
Yeah.
Use my code. How many people are actually using those codes? Nobody. Like, unless you're like Martins or somebody, right, with an actual social media presence. So, here's what I will say. What I didn't say in there is, it's worth it if you're just trying to get the discount. Because when you get that affiliate, you'll usually get like a 10, 15, 20% discount through the company as well. Yeah. Like, I know with Cerberus, a big benefit of being an affiliate through Cerberus is that you get like 30% off everything. Okay? So, if you're using it to get your own discount, certainly, like not a terrible idea. But if you're using it thinking people are going to use your code, it's not happening. The best to be a sponsored athlete, because also then you're not limited to just that product, like that product line. Because let's be honest, most supplement companies don't have the best product in each line. Right? Just because you got a good pre-workout doesn't mean you got a good non-stim blood pump. Just because you got a good pre-workout doesn't mean you got a good multivitamin. Right? Like, just because, like, it's... So I like to pick and choose my favorites from each category, and those are all different companies. Right? So I pick what I feel is best for me, what's past actual, like, clinical studies, what's actually effective. Right? Like, my favorite thing is, like, people who buy a pre-workout that's got creatine in it. And then you look on the actual bottle, and it's like a proprietary blend, and the whole scoop's like 6 grams. And I'm like, you think you're getting 5 grams of creatine in that scoop? Yeah. You're not, right? So it's a shitty product. It's just pixie dust and stuff. So you want to get, ideally you get sponsored. Yeah. And the best way that is through a mom and pop store, right, or a local store, right? You're not gonna go into a GNC and get a sponsor unless maybe if it's a family-owned GNC, right? And now that works, yeah. If it's a family-owned franchise, you probably have a decent chance. But you gotta be a customer. Yeah. Most of the time, I find that people trying to get sponsored don't even shop there. Yeah. Right? I've been with Rocks for 6 years. They've been. I don't even use my entire stipend every month. Sometimes I go months I forget because I just got all my shit. I don't need more. Yeah. But people ask me all the time, like, hey, man, you think you can get me in with Rocks? I'm like, do you shop there? Yeah. Like, no. I'm like, then why the hell do you think they sponsor you? Yeah. Like, even if you're a big name, you're a nobody to them, right? Why would they support you and you don't support them? Yeah. I support Rocks because they're, in my opinion, the best supplement store in the South, right? They're the fastest growing brick and mortar supplement store in Texas. Like, they've taken over Texas. If you go anywhere south of Austin, everybody knows Rocks. You walk into any gym, a Gold's, a Lifetime, a hardcore gym, like any gym, you're going to see Rock shirts everywhere. Everybody knows it. And the guys at Rocks know what they're talking about. I know because I used to work there. People would come in because I worked there, right? When I left, they were bummed because because I brought them in, right? Luckily, we replaced me with people that knew what they were doing as well. But it's you got to support them if you want them to support you.
You know, I've ran into a lot of that promoting these shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always like, "Hey, you want to sponsor? You want to sponsor, right?" And they're like, "You're not even following me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I am asking 1,000 fucking people,
Yeah.
right? And I'm hoping for the best here. I definitely would love to follow you. I wouldn't have asked if I didn't think your shit was cool,
Yeah.
right? But like it's very. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, when they're coming at me like fucking rude sometimes, like, and that's the thing, is it's hard for me because I understand what you're saying. I don't use your stuff.
Yeah.
Well, then why would you want me to sponsor your event? So that other people can see it.
Right.
So that we can kind of move this along, and maybe we can use your stuff. I mean, last time I had a sponsor, it was called Lovey Subby.
Mm-hmm.
They make like collars and handcuffs and shit for like the kink community,
Okay.
right? Like,
Okay.
and the thing was, she's like, "Oh, I see you haven't really ordered from us or whatever," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's not like I'm not into that shit. So like, if you're down, send over what you want to send.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some orders, right? Like we do the collars, we do all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's very like, it's not like a scratch your back, I'll scratch mine, right? Like back and forth, but it is really like everything I feel is a pay to play.
Yeah.
If you want to be seen, you gotta
You
pay.
gotta spend a little money. Yeah. Something I find hard. So when I was trying to get America's Strongest Man sponsored, right? Which this is, other than Giants Live and stuff, this was the biggest live stream show that Strongman's ever fucking had. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, as far as a local America's Strongest Man show, we got 40,000, 50,000 viewers. Okay?
Jesus.
Like, I couldn't get Cerberus to commit. I couldn't get AdMat. Cerberus actually told me they didn't do cash sponsorships, which I knew was a lie, because I knew other people that had gotten it. So I went with their competitor, Freedom Strength. Gave me a great deal.
Jeez.
Right? AdMat wouldn't even respond. Like, finding sponsors for shows, it's expensive to host a show.
Yeah.
Especially that show, we lost like $6,000.
Yeah.
That show ruined Strongman for that whole area, because Iron Forge will never throw another Strongman show because of that show.
Why?
Because we ended up having to lose so much money. Because we had to commit like $5,000 to the grand prize. We had to pay for everything out of pocket. Like, and that was when Dion was selling the company, like, to James, and when James and Lynn had taken over, and they were incredible. James and Lynn did amazing. They helped me out so much, right? But like, by the time we paid for trophies, by the time we paid for the setup, we brought in Slater logs. Like, we were trying to make this a big thing, hoping that it would really kick it off, and I couldn't get fuck all help from the community.
Yeah.
So that was eye-opening, and honestly pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, because I know you're lying to me, right? And the fact that you won't even respond when I have an actual business proposal, all I was asking for from like AdMat was like one set of fucking log pads, like, or even a discount. Never even fucking responded. You know what I mean? Like, so. But what I've found is a lot of sponsors will only sponsor an event once, because strongmen don't spend money. Because strongmen don't got money. Because you're spending it all in the supplement game. You know? So I think it depends on who you're targeting, sponsor-wise.
Well, I also think that, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I also find it very difficult to find the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we might do that. Let me just send it along. Let me send it along." No, I'm calling you.
I'm like, no,
in person, or I'm showing up at your fucking shop. Like, who is it that I would need to talk to that could approve?
Who can actually give me the stamp?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up having to do, and now I'm creating a list of like all these sponsors. I'm hitting up the person I need to speak to directly. If it's a no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just at least I
At
know I'm
least
talking to the right
respond to me.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or say something,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's pretty frustrating. I hit up like Celsius, Monster, like all those other ones, just to kind of see what's going on, and just the way that they must be getting hit with 2,000 of these
I'm
a day,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's definitely, once you get through, like I now speak to the Celsius person. They've sent us stuff a few times. They like now, and then I'm saving their number and I'm saving their fucking the right
You have to
email.
have that direct contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just message the sales department, like, good luck with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it depends on who you're picking. 'Cause, like, ideally, you get local companies, like meal prep company, like people that the strongmen are actually going to buy from.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes I see a sponsor and I'm like, nobody's gonna purchase from the construction company.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but all the power to it. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? But sometimes I see sponsors and I'm like, that sponsor's never gonna sponsor again because they're not gonna see any kickback from their sponsorship. You know, unless they support the show or like they know someone who does strongman, right? But you got to build that community. I think someone who's done that really well actually is Derek Owens down in Texas.
Really?
He has built it from nothing. You know, he started out with Battle Axe Barbell. They've been hosting shows for fucking 6 to 7 years now. You know, and they are consistently really well hosted shows. And he's grown so much now that he hosted OSG. He's hosted nationals.
Oh,
like Derek's come up a big. Derek and Shelly put on some good fucking shows.
Nice.
But they built that. It didn't come from nothing. It took them years, and it took them building community, inviting people in, like showing what they could do, and hosting good shows. Like they've had hiccups here and there, but it's cool to see what they've done with what they had. You know what I mean? And now where they're at now. So I think you got to build that community. You can't just like kind of how you're doing up here. You're doing the expos. You're doing your shows. You're building your community.
Yeah.
You're building your people, and those people, if they believe in you, they're going to carry you through, right?
Yeah, it is turned into. There's probably like 5 or 6 people that are at every fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, hey, oh fuck, I got to go down to get this. Blah blah blah. He's like, hey, I live down there.
Go
I'll
get
just
it.
get it for you.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, do you need me to pay you for it? He's like, don't you fucking
get
pay
it.
me. You just run this show like
Because
you
they
do.
believe
And I'm
it.
like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are fucking amazing, man.
And then knowing the other promoters and like supporting each other and like it's very much
That was
community.
something I'm doing, and apparently I love the community too much, right? Everybody thinks like this is for money or this is for that or ego or whatever the fuck, but I'm in love with this community, and like for Strongman Sunday, if there's a big show around here, I'm hosting the events that are at that show.
Right.
If you need somewhere to practice, if you need some tips or how to fucking do this, like come over here, like let's all work together, because it's not always me either. I have people come in to train other people.
Yeah.
I had my buddy Bob Moyer train everybody how to do log.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, he's great at it. And he actually taught me something fucking cool, which is like, instead of rolling it from bottom all the way to top, it's a fucking tuck it in, and it's almost like a front squat.
Yep.
It took half the energy I need, like, for the entire press.
Yeah, it's a
Just
row
out.
into your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, granted, as it gets heavier, it gets harder.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But so does everything. But it's easier than that roll all the way up. We're going to be teaching that today, too, actually. But it's definitely opened the eyes to some promoters where, like, I feel like a lot of them are like, we're competing against each other. No, dog, I hope you success as well.
Yeah.
Like, I just want places for these people to do what they want to do, man. Like, I'm going to do cool shit. You do cool shit. I'll promote yours. You promote mine. Like, I want people to go to your shows because you're doing cool shit.
Right.
But,
and that's what it's about. That's why I got into strongman. It's supporting your rivals. It's all about community. It's about bringing each other up, because let's be honest, this sport, like we said, isn't bringing in a lot of money for the athletes. A lot of us are just doing it because we love to do it. Yeah. And if you don't have a community behind you, that's where it falls apart. Yeah. You know, so if we didn't have the support that we had, like I mean, it takes a fucking team to get you ready. Like it's, I have people, you know, you have spotters, you got people helping you load, you got people filming you, you got people giving you tips. Like I could reach out to any of the top guys that I know and ask them for tips and stuff, and they would freely give it. Yeah. They're not holding their secrets. You know what I mean? Right. And that's what improves the sport. That's what brings new athletes in, and that's what helps propel those new athletes into new heights. Right.
That's the thing too, is I've been trying to explain to people the last 10 years. This has become a real sport.
Yeah.
And, because now you're getting strong, like collegiate athletes, strong Olympic lifters who are now changing how we do things. And everybody's like, oh, well, that's the pussy way to do it. He just whooped your ass by 100 fucking pounds. I don't care how he did it.
I've seen 20-year-olds set records, and you're like, what the
It's crazy. Yeah, there's the 16-year-olds now fucking pulling the 600s. Like, dude, that's insanity. So, I love watching a sport evolve, and I'm so happy when I got into it, which is like 2013 or some shit, to now, where I'm like, this is just grown and become such a a sport. It's not
It's
just
got
a
much
thing.
more reach than it ever had, especially with social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But something I don't think people think about too, though, is if you want these records to be broken, your best bet is more popularity in the sport, because you're going to get more athletes to pick from, because more athletes are going to from other modalities, from other sports. I think what makes a great strongman is doing other sports.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you talk to a lot of the open heavyweight guys, they've played D1 football. Like, they were fat, like, they have that lateral movement. They have that explosive power. They didn't develop that in strongman. They developed that playing football, playing rugby,
like Lucas.
wrestling.
Fucking shot put,
Shot throwing, discus.
Shit.
Yeah, like, that stuff carries over. And it's important. So how do we get those guys into strongman? But here's what I don't think people think about. Those guys coming in, it's going to be a much bigger gene pool to pull from. It's going to be much stronger guys. You're going to get much more elite athletes. Those guys are going to push out some of the elite athletes at the top as well.
Yeah.
Right? And I think some people don't like that. But that's what it's going to take to grow. Yeah. We got to get the reach. We've got to get those multiple modality, multi-sport athletes to come in, try it out, bring their following, right? Yeah. Like, imagine if you had the CrossFit backing, like the money that CrossFit had. Imagine what it's like. Imagine how many people would be doing this shit.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie Hall actually did a pretty good job of he went and competed at a CrossFit thing.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was
set
silly.
the record on the barbell clean, right?
Yeah. Everybody thought it was silly, but that was an
exposure.
olive branch. That was like a connecting.
Look at CrossFit. They do half of our fucking events. Yeah. The yoke, the sandbag, like it's creeping into other stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is great, because that's the only way the sport's going to grow, is more exposure and more, friendliness. I guess not even friendliness. It's just community, developing that community, developing that. Hey, don't be afraid to come out for a Strongman Sunday. Let's give it a try. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. If
you like it, great. Let's move it on. But
it is really hard, because you say strongman and people think they have to be super duper strong to do it, and I'm like, no.
Here's what I say: you can't. It's not weak man. Okay, you can't go from never fucking lifting in your life to competing in 3 months. And expect to be good. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
You can compete in 3 months. But
you can have a background in powerlifting or football or rugby or something, and then and do well. But you can't go from 0 to hero.
Yeah.
Right. It is strong man. Right. So, and I have trained some people who did zero shit, were terrible, couldn't lift at all, and then they were like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and I'm like, brother, the vast ocean between me and you. And the vast ocean between me and the top guys, you don't even fucking know.
Right.
Okay? You got to get to where I'm at to even realize how fucking far you got to go.
Yeah.
And you just started lifting this month, and you're like, I'm going to be world's strongest man. I'm going to set records. Good fucking luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, more power to you.
Yeah. And if you do, then I'm wrong. By all means, prove me wrong. But I've never seen it. You know what I mean? Those guys burn out. Those guys don't realize what it takes to get to this level, and what it takes to get from where I'm at to the next level. Yeah. And that's a fucking, like I said, that's an ocean of different. That's a lot.
Well, I think there's this big fucking misunderstanding, and I process it into 2 sections, right? Like, let's say I put squat and deadlift about the same, right? Mm-hmm. So if your squat and deadlift are about 315, you're a certain type of athlete. Get about 500 is probably the next big one, right?
Yeah.
But then from there, it's 600 and 700 and 800.
And it takes a year.
And it is, each one of those is the same process that you went from 315 to 500, but harder. Yeah. Every fucking time.
Likely longer.
And longer and more dedication and because I'm close to the 8s, right? And that has been such a fucking wall to climb for me that I just almost gave up on it, right? But once I get over that wall,
there's another wall.
That's still not where I need to be. There's still 4 walls in the way. What the fuck, man? It's very, I'm very national level.
Yeah.
I can go to nationals every year if I want. I'm not gonna win. Not till I'm in the 9s.
Yep.
And then we'll drop it into the 230. It'll change some things.
It is, yeah.
But it'll definitely, yeah. There's the vast difference between that starts changing in the smallest numbers. It just starts changing. I mean, and then you get into 900.
Well, look at
now it's 925.
10 years ago, a 700-pound deadlift was good.
It was
now
great.
It's normal. You know, like, you got 700-pound deadlift, you better fucking have an 8.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I had an athlete who he finally hit a 600-pound deadlift after training for a while. And he was like, all right. He's like, my goal is to hit 700 in 6 months. I was like, brother, I love that. I love that for you.
Yeah.
But even if we load you up on gear, that's pretty fucking unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, let's shoot for next year and see where we're at, you know? And we eventually got there, right?
Yeah.
But, like, it was not 6 months.
No way.
It was a little over a year. And he worked his ass off to get there. And then he actually got tired of it. Because you got to also remember the mentality to get there. You've got to keep it going. It doesn't just end. Like, this is a tough sport. It's a mentally tough sport.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to, you know, it's not... When I'm training and I've got a big lift coming up, that's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
The whole week. I'm like, fuck, Friday, 700 for 10. Whew, shit.
Yeah.
That's tough. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, whew, 700 for 10. God damn. I'm waking up. Oh, 700 for 10. Like, it's a lot of mental work, too. Like,
This next week is peak week for me.
Yeah, so you're there.
I'm not thinking about 5's week or 3's week. I've been thinking about peak week for the past month.
Yeah.
You know, and like I need to see where the fuck I'm actually at. Like, these numbers will change how I train. And I'm also nervous because I've been using 700 as like as my deadlift number, right? My max for percentages. And I know it's not that.
Yeah.
Because it's also a 16-inch fucking deadlift. So I'm like, great. Now, this has been hard. Now I'm going to pull 850
Harder. Yeah.
on this shit. And now my numbers are going to be fucking worse.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do
Every
more
week.
work.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to do more warm-up. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
do more cool-down, more rehab. Like, it's... The stronger you get, the more work piles on.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't understand that when they're only lifting 300 pounds.
Right.
Not that that's not respectable.
Right.
But it's different. I always say, the quickest way I know you're not a serious lifter is you tell me your fucking leg press.
Yeah.
Do not tell me your leg press.
Yeah.
I do not care.
Yeah.
People were doing 1,000 pounds in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was 1,000 pounds in high school.
Yeah.
I knew it was a leg press, right? Like,
Well, if you know anything about science, too, you're like...
yeah, I mean, come on. Dog. My aunt had 1,000-pound fucking leg press in high school, okay?
Yeah.
Like, cool, you're as strong as my aunt in my mind.
Yeah,
like,
good job.
You know, so it's like, you know, it's I don't think people understand what goes into it, physically or mentally.
Yeah.
But also, like, the toll it takes on your relationship. Yeah. Like, the toll it takes on your everything. Because it is, if you want to be good at it, it's got to be your life.
Yeah.
You can't be secondhand to anything. If you want to make it to Worlds, if you want to make it to OSG and do well, not just fucking show up and get last, okay? Like, certainly you can do that, and your kid's not going to know the difference, okay?
Right.
But, like, that ain't me, man. I ain't fucking showing up to get last, okay? That would be the worst thing ever. Like, yeah, like, and there are people that, you know what, all the power to them, they show that. I got in an argument with this guy once, and I'm sometimes an asshole online, but
That makes sense.
this guy's coach was just a piece of shit. There's very few coaches I don't like, and all of them are slime balls. There's only two, really two. They're slime balls. They steal people. They stole money from their clients, like just a bunch of shit. Yeah. And this one guy was, he was like bragging about his coach. He was like, "Oh, my coach is great," and it was the guy I fucking hated. And neither of these guys are really coaches anymore, because you know people catch on. And I won't even say their names, they're not important. And he's like, you know, my coach got me to nationals, and I was setting all kinds of PRs, and talking big, like his coach was great. I looked him up. He zeroed 4 out of 5 fucking events at nationals. Yeah. And I commented back, I said, why the fuck did you even go? I said, you zeroed 4 out of 5 events. Any real coach would have told you not to fucking show up.
Yeah.
Because number one, that's on me. My name's associated with you, and I don't want that. But 2, you don't belong there.
Yeah.
You're just signing your name on the bill saying, I went to nationals.
Yeah.
But you know what? Normal people don't know any better. They're going to be like, oh, you're so strong, man.
What they want is
they want the recognition without the actual work. Yeah.
It is insane how much people just want the shirt.
Shirt.
Oh, I went to nationals. See? How'd you do?
I went to OSG. I got 250th out of 250.
Yeah,
like, okay, that's
I mean,
cool,
hey,
dog.
somebody's got to be in last.
Certainly. But like being last, able to lift the fucking weight for 1 rep. Okay.
And you should know you can't do that.
I spend $2,000 to go fucking fail every lift.
Yeah. I went to nationals and like circus dumbbell.
Yeah.
220 pounds overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that I know I'm zeroing that shit,
but I'm gonna get the other shit.
Yeah. Or the other 3. Right. I zeroed 2 things.
Yeah.
All right.
But 4 out of 5, brother, you don't belong.
That's
like,
that's too much.
Take another year.
Yeah.
Let's work up to it. Let's earn it, right? And then let's go, right? Now, I'm sure some people get upset with that, but that's just, don't waste our time.
Yeah. Because
now you're just another guy waiting. We're waiting on you to fail, and then just move. Like, you just add more time to us doing the competition. Like, honestly, you don't. Not that you don't belong, but I don't know. That's just
Well, the thing is, you every step of the way is its own journey. It's the same thing like the 315, 500, right? Now you're a national level athlete.
Earn your place.
You've earned your place to go to nationals.
Right.
Now you need to become a competitive national athlete.
Right. And then
you can win.
Yeah. And then move on to the next stage.
But those are also different stages. Like, so if you get your first national invite, then you're probably going to be last.
Yeah.
Right? Then work your way to middle of the pack. Then you work your way up higher. Then you get first. Then we move. People don't understand it.
If you win a local show out of 3 people and you're third and you get your nationals invite, don't expect to do well at nationals. Yeah. You couldn't even do well at a local show.
If you don't take first,
you
shouldn't be going.
Right.
Yeah.
Even I say this full well knowing, like my journey, I did USS, I did Winter Rumble, I got first. I was like, okay, I might not be terrible at this sport, right? And my dad's like, well, all right, you did well. He said, but the next level, So I did USS. I realized USS doesn't really lead anywhere that I wanted to go, right? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the Arnold. I'm going to do all this. So I flew out to California, and I competed in Big Tommy Burns. Fucking love that guy. One of his shows out in Cali. And actually the guy who got 3rd place in the open heavyweight USS Nationals was there competing. He was the hometown favorite.
Oh, shit.
I was a little nervous. Beat him. Got first. I didn't even have to do the last event because I was so far in the lead.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I definitely made it a good choice doing Strongman Corporation instead of USS.
Yeah.
Because obviously I would probably, if I could beat the guy who got 3rd, I could probably do pretty well at USS Nationals.
Yeah.
And so I got first at that one, and I was like, okay, maybe each one kind of validates yourself, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I'm good enough to go to nationals. Got my nationals invite, went to nationals. I was in fucking 2nd, 3rd place the whole show until Yoke, which was my worst event.
Oh, really?
And I ended up in 5th.
Okay. Still not bad.
Still not bad.
Yeah.
And that was nationals with Austin Andrade. Lucas Hatton was there. Thomas Evans was there. Jack Plankers was there, who for some reason just kind of dropped off. Everybody was expecting that boy to do something big.
Yeah.
Nick Guardion was there.
Shit, yeah.
Like, we had, everybody that's competing. Half the class from World's Strongest Man was at that nationals, right? And we blew shit out of the water. And I was like, okay, I got my Arnold invite from there. And I was like, okay, maybe I validated my next step. And then I went to the Arnold, got 5th at the Arnold. I was like, okay, maybe I validated my next step. But each time my dad's like, hey man, the next level, concerned dad, doesn't want you to get, all hyped up thinking you're going to do well. He's like, it's next level. There's a lot stronger guys. This is national. Okay, well, now this is the Arnold. It's a big one. And then OSG, or this is world. But you need those little validations.
Yeah.
Because that helps prove to yourself that you belong.
Yeah.
If I had just gone from USS to Strongman Corporation Nationals, I wouldn't mentally been ready for that. You know what I mean? It just, there's stages that you shouldn't skip. Do yourself a favor and help. You know what I mean? Do it the right way. Right? Don't just show up and zero everything and then be done with it.
Well, and then help your coach too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've had guys who are just like, I'm going to be world's strongest man, and I'm like,
how many times
your numbers aren't even close to mine, dude. And I'm not close.
Right. I'm like, you can't even beat me.
So it's
and I've been training for 6 years. Yeah. You don't.
It's a long time, and I'm not there.
And you're taking gear to win a local show.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna be one of the best, brother? You're redlining your body for a local fucking show. Yeah. Let's step back from it. How much gear do you think you're gonna have to run to actually get to the Arnold, to actually get to the world level and not die? And not have serious health effects later on.
I had a conversation promoting. I get introduced to a lot of big fucking people, big names, right? And it is amazing how little
Yeah.
gear people are
You'd be
actually doing.
surprised. Yeah.
It's insane because it really is like, if you can't get to national level natural, you shouldn't be doing gear to get there.
If you're redlining it to win against other guys just in your little town,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to be able to compete with the guys that, like you said, barely dipped into it after they were already at that level.
Yeah. They're headed to Worlds, so they're like, maybe I should do some gear.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit.
I know
Now you're going to do that.
several of the guys in World's Strongest Man this year barely running gear for
Yeah.
maybe the past couple years, if even, and what they run in is very minimal. And I know that for a fact because I've helped them out with it.
Yeah.
Like, like a lot of guys like to come to me to ask questions on that shit.
Well, I talked to Angelica Jardine.
Yeah.
And we actually ended up getting close. She judged the show I just did.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up having a conversation. And I was like, so yeah, I'm running naturals this year and blah, blah. I'm going to Worlds again. I'm like, wait. You won the Rogue. You're natural?
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, forever. Always will be. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. You won the Rogue natural. That's yes. You should be one of the world's strongest women. That's insane because there's some women in there fucking banging gear too.
I know guys running grams of gear
Yeah.
that will never be world level.
Oh yeah.
And it's like eventually everybody you're going to retire from this sport.
Yeah.
What is your legacy going to be? Do you want to live till you're 90?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know that this stuff is affecting our health and it's cutting off years at the end, but how many years am I trying to cut off for a mediocre career in the sport?
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, then I want to at least be fucking world level before I sacrifice years of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing local shows and fucking die at 60 from a heart attack because I took too much growth and too much test. Like... and then you see that, unfortunately. You see bodybuilders die all the time from the drug use.
Yeah.
This year, unfortunately, we saw Patty.
Yeah.
Fucking, and that's and unfortunately, that was perfectly timed with him switching into bodybuilding, and he spoke about his cycle, 2 months before he passed away. Like this shit affects you.
Yeah.
You might not see it, but it does, and you need to think about your wife and your kids. And if you're not, you're just a selfish asshole.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to risk I'm going to do, and I'm not saying I'm natural, what I mean, obviously, but I'm going to do the research and I'm going to do the stuff I need to do as far as supplementation and blood work and testing to make sure that I'm the healthiest I can be when I'm doing it, because this isn't going to be my life forever. Am I going to be a coach forever? Fuck yeah. I've been a coach for 18 fucking years. I love doing it. Am I going to compete at a top level like Mark Felix till I'm like 60 years old?
Yeah.
Probably fucking not, okay? That man is a machine, okay? But like,
Had
no.
fucking hands on that. Man.
Yeah,
Did you see those?
there's life after the sport,
Yeah.
right? And I think some people need to step back and realize that.
Well, it's definitely hard because I know that at one point I went hard, real fucking hard. I'm going to nationals, I'm doing all this shit, and I went real hard, and it was really just like
More
as
is
long-
not necessarily.
well, I was like, as long as I get this world title,
Yeah, I
you
don't
can
care.
kill me the next day.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And then I took 8th out of 20 at nationals and was like, wow, maybe we should calm down, you know, because like obviously
But you're also younger too.
right. Well, I'm strong.
Yeah.
I do get that. I'm very strong. I'm also 5'8", and I really had to hit that ego plateau of just like, doesn't matter what I fucking do strength wise, I am not big enough
Right.
to do some of this shit.
Even I'm short for open heavyweight.
yeah,
I'm 6'2". Like,
yeah. These guys are fucking monsters. And nationals really showed me a lot
Yeah.
because I went first because I was late, and I looked like a child standing next to men. Is what happened. These guys are 6'4", 6'6" behind me. Like I'm 5'8". That's a big difference, man. That's a lot.
there's a picture of me at the top 10 at the Arnold, and it's all of us lined up. And I'm one of the shortest guys on the thing. Like, it's me, I think Tom Soroka, like, we got, like, shorter guys. Even at Nationals, like, I'm one of the shorter guys, but I was wide. I was wider. But, yeah, I mean, it's genetics.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys blessed with genetics, 6'8", 400 pounds, that have zero fucking work ethic.
Yep.
And I've seen guys that aren't blessed, 5'3", like, a fucking noodle when they started, but they don't miss a meal, they don't miss a lift, they do the prehab, they do the rehab, and I always feel I'm like, man, if I could put you in this guy's body,
yeah,
like you'd be a fucking world champion.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
It's not possible.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these guys are blessed.
Yeah.
Genetically, and I'm blessed genetically, but like, there's giants among men.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're 20 years old and you're how fucking big?
Yeah. So that's where I was like, I think we had this conversation where I was like, I'm gonna drop down to like the 261.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you could do that and be at national level and right now.
Yeah.
He's like, or you can drop to 230.
Like fucking
and actually get there. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like that was a hard, like. Conversation I had to have with myself was like,
used to being the big fucking guy. It's bigorexia.
Bigorexia.
That's a literal term for it. Like you're constantly obsessed with being big because it's what you're known as. You know, I have it too. I've always been the big guy. Well, I was until I hit puberty. I was a little guy, but you know what I mean. I've been the big guy for so long. It's hard to not. It becomes part of your personality.
Yeah.
It becomes part of who you are. But that's not really who you are. Yeah. Right? Like you are. You're in here, right? Yeah. This is not.
This is a meat prison.
Yeah. You know? And if I'm in a meat prison, I want it to be a healthy, fast, strong prison.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these guys need to take a step back and realize that maybe if I drop the weight class, that's where I belong. And that's where I can be successful versus trying to push into the open heavyweights and the... But unfortunately, that's where all the big exposure is. So that's what they see, and that's what they want. Well, and I don't blame them.
There's also a ring to the strongest man on the planet.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I'm the strongest guy on the world at 100 kg.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound the same.
But still, you are. But here's my funny thing. Normal people don't fucking understand it.
Yeah.
You can tell them you've got a 900-pound deadlift, and they're like, oh, wow, that's heavy. They don't know the difference between a 9, an 800, a 700, a 600, because there's just 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand the amount that goes into it. So
well, I think people don't understand what a 3 looks like.
Fuck no. People are... When you walk out of that gym, you're just a strong guy.
Yeah.
Even if you're the world's strongest man. I'm sure Martins goes to the store and he's just a strong, big guy. Yeah. If they don't know the sport. You know what I mean? Half the time I tell people I'm a strong man, they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh, so you bench and deadlift?
They think I'm just saying I'm a strong man. I'm like, no, it's a sport.
No, I pick up rocks and logs and cars and shit.
Yeah, I do weird shit outside. Yeah, it's. I think, you know, you people get obsessed with that title, and the size that comes with it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, you're barely famous to people outside of the sport. They don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah. Well, and even like, ask a normal person who Martins is.
Nobody knows.
Nobody. I mean, in the sport, one of the most famous guys there is.
Yeah.
But like anywhere outside of it, nobody even knows.
Nope.
It sucks, man. Like, I mean, he's a celebrity around here.
It's a under-recognized sport. Yeah. It's very much underpaid, under-recognized, under-promoted. Yeah. And that's sad for how much work a lot of these guys put in. Because you got guys dedicating their lives to this shit. And then...
And literally, too, with the amount of gear and shit they're on, like...
They're sacrificing.
They're die.
Yeah. Versus like an NFL star.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
doesn't give a shit because he made it already.
Yeah. And they got millions of dollars and, you know what I mean? They get fucked up, too.
Yeah.
But at least they're rich.
Yeah, exactly.
At least when they retire, they got a couple million stashed.
Well, and then all their medical shit's all paid for and everything. I mean, we got to deal with everything as it comes.
Yeah.
It's intense.
So that's a lot of costs.
A lot of costs, yeah.
Physically, mentally, and financially.
Yeah.
But we love it.
Well, I can't get over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing with all these sports, man. Like, I mean, with the expo, I was like, what is all the coolest shit? I'm going to put that all in one place.
Yeah, I just want to do fun shit that I like to do.
Yeah.
Like, and bring people that like to do it.
Well, we had a whole crew. It didn't work out completely, but now it's back to me and Lily running this show. But it was really like, they were like, well, so what is it you want out of this show? I was like, honestly, I want to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to have to be fucking everywhere the whole time making sure it runs. I want to have a good time, and that's the whole reason I put all this shit into one place. Because I'm interested. You know, I want to watch.
Yeah.
I want to watch these guys beat the shit out of each other in suits of armor. That's fucking sick. I want to watch this grip competition and these powerlifters and these strongmen flipping a fucking car.
Yeah.
I'm into that shit.
You've always wanted to see it. I'm going to host it. I'm going to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to happen somewhere. It might as well be me doing it. So, It's been fun. It's been interesting. What would you say was the hardest part of promoting that big fucking show?
Honestly, for me, it was just getting sponsors.
Yeah.
We had no support. We
Yeah.
did it all ourselves, you know. And then unfortunately, we were teamed up with like Twitch, like Mizkiff and these guys that were really big names on Twitch.
Yeah.
And we were hoping that we'd get some kickback, but they didn't share a fucking dime of their like sponsorship money or their ad money. Like I didn't make a fucking penny off of that show, and I busted my balls.
Yeah.
Like Rocks supported me.
Yeah.
Rocks fucking brought out their Humvee. Or their big old Hummer, like lifted Hummer on tires. We did the arm over arm pull with them. They had a booth. Like, that's why I support. Rocks has always supported me, and I've always supported Rocks.
That's awesome.
Great company, great guys, best prices. Like, they're. You got to find people that support what you're doing. And without that, you know, like it takes a community to really get these people where it takes a community to do this.
Yeah.
Like it's not just you. You know, it's a team.
Well, it's also good that you ran a show because I do feel like 1% of us promote shows.
Very
right?
small amount.
And nobody fucking understands what that even means.
No.
Like they're just so you just have a place and you have the equipment. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
just do a show.
It's easy to
Yeah.
It's when you actually get down to having enough equipment, having a warm up area, timing,
Shirts,
like,
trophies,
yeah,
all this shit. This isn't free. None of it.
The thing about America's Strongest Man is the athletes don't pay.
What?
Yeah, it's got to be free.
Why? How do you run it? You can't.
That's what I mean.
see why you
We lost
money.
our ass. But you know what? You ask any of those guys there. James Deffenbaugh fucking competed.
Oh, really?
Owners, yeah. It was his first show in like fucking a long ass time, years.
Yeah.
You ask any of those guys, they'll tell you it was one of the best fucking shows they did because we took care of them.
Yeah.
Like we got them custom equipment. We got them fucking $300. Like we got them big ass trophies, like fucking big old bodybuilding trophies.
Yeah.
And then we had like custom cut plaques that James made. Like it was one of the, in my opinion, one of the best run local small like shows. And they've hit me up multiple times asking me to host another America's Strongest. I just unfortunately can't. I don't have the financial backing for it or the equipment, you know. But I've hosted several shows. But that one by far was my favorite, especially because it was a smaller group of guys, all elite, great guys, and you know, fucking half of them are up at Dungeon. You got Zach up there and shit.
Yeah.
But we took care of the guys. We interviewed them. We gave them exposure because the whole point was to focus on them because they're the strongest guys in the 105 kg class in America, and they should be highlighted.
Yeah.
You know. So I think when you do it right, people appreciate it, but you're not necessarily going to make the money off of it. Right? But you don't get into the sport for money. You get into it for the love of the competition and the community.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's important.
Yeah. So how did you end up with that many streams? Just those two people?
Yeah, just Mizkiff. He usually averages like 40,000, 50,000 people on a viewer. So
Shit.
yeah. Just having him and then promoting it. And then the gym was partnered kind of with Twitch because those guys like helped open it. They were the funding, like the backing for it.
Oh, shit.
Now, this whole shit's gone crazy because if anybody is listening to it and they know about Twitch, they probably know about OTK, which is the organization that Mizkiff and all them are behind. And that shit has imploded like a motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Like, accusations, like slimy shit. Like, those guys are not good to associate with anymore. But yeah, that whole thing's blown the fuck up. So I don't really know what they're doing anymore. But they aren't hosting. They're never going to host another strongman show. They've lost their ass. You know, and that's unfortunate because it really could have been a yearly, like a really big thing, that grew the sport. You know, we had car girls interviewing them. They'd come off the thing and we'd be interviewing them. How do you feel that went? You know, what blah blah blah. How's your training been going? Like. Really getting into it with the guys, really trying to give them exposure, putting their Instagram up there, putting their stats up there, like trying to get them people, trying to feed it.
Yeah.
And it just fell flat on his fucking face.
Jeez.
Yeah, I had no support from the strongman community. It was, it was kind of shocking, honestly, but it's what it is, you know.
Well, I have been amazed how much politics plays a factor
Strongman
in this
politics,
promoter
yeah.
bullshit. Like it really was. I mean, even in this me pulling away from USS part was just like, oh, well, we don't get along. But I don't give a fuck who you like. I don't care at all. Well, it's not even for me. It's for like this entire sport, dude. Like, what do you give a shit if I'm running it with different corporations? Like, I ran the one you wanted me to run. I'm doing that, and it went well. It went great. You got some good exposure. But like, yeah, I'm gonna do it with this one now because these people are all like, some people will only do strongman court. Some will only do USS. Yep. They're just very different things, and so I want the whole community. I want them all.
Yeah.
So
I always say, start in USS if you think about trying it. If it's a hobby, USS, have some fun with it. It's cheaper to get in. There's more local shows, I would say, because it is cheaper. And then if you find that you want to get a little more serious with it, go to Strongman Corporation because that's where you're actually going to get recognition. USS, you can win nationals. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah. I don't know who won nationals last year. I don't pay attention. I know who won nationals at Strongman Corporation. Yeah. I don't know anything. You know. And I've had experiences with Willie in the past, and he basically, like, I had a coach that was banning an athlete from all USS shows just because the athlete fired him, and he threatened to choke slam him, and if he saw him in the gym and all this shit. And I brought the attention to Willie. I was like, hey man, your fucking USS reps, you know, saying all this shit, he's banning this athlete, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, that's just him being him. And I was like, no, bitch. And it was on an anonymous account because I was competing in the Ronnie Coleman like a month after, and I didn't, and that coach and Willie were judges, so I didn't want any, bias. And he, like, blew it off. And then I was like, all right, man, you're not taking this serious. I'm going to message you on my real account so you know I'm not just some fucking bum. And I messaged him, instantly changed his tune. He was like, oh, well, I'll talk to him, and that athlete's not banned, and actually I want to invite you to some local show or some international shows, and we'll help pay for it. And I said, Willie, no offense, but USS was always just a fucking stepping stone for me to go to the actual, like, competition, so I'm good, But that was slimy for me, that you wouldn't recognize an anonymous complaint, but you would when I have a name behind it, like an actual, because I'm somebody. And from since then on, I pretty much don't let my athletes compete in USS or Strongman Corporation only because it's a better organization. And I love James. I think he's doing a great job at turning it around.
Well, I had a whole conversation with James. He very well. He knows what he's talking about.
He's a competitor. He's done it, and James does a great job. Yeah, it's tough. Imagine hosting a show, and imagine running a whole fucking federation. Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I can imagine it probably better than most people as a promoter. Yeah. But I'm sure I haven't even scratched the surface of being able to figure out how the fuck that works.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine running it, and it's a small group of people that are running it. James and a couple people, and James builds a lot of the shit for it. Like, it's impressive, honestly, how far it's come with how little support.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm just not interested in the politics at all. It was I try to do that with everything in life. Not interested in any politics. I mean, some shit just hits you in the face and there's nothing you can do about it. But, yeah, man, we don't get super political on this podcast most of the time. But I was pretty shocked that we started another war. And I'm very confused as to what's... Like, is this just another don't look at these Epstein files thing?
I don't get it. I will only make one comment on that. It's not about the nuclear weapons because our current administration is the one that ripped up the deal that Iran wasn't going to have nuclear weapons when they first got into office. So you can't rip up the deal that Iran agreed to and then a year later invade them and say that they're developing nuclear weapons, especially when we just fucking blew up their supposedly nuclear weapon facilities 6 months ago. But it's fucking crazy right now, bro. It is what it is.
I'm pretty nervous. I got an 18-year-old. He's about to turn 18 in 2 months. I'm just nervous he's getting drafted. Like, this is going to happen. I mean, I'm on the end of the draft, but like...
I saw a meme, and it was like, I'm 6 years old. We're going to war in the Middle East. Like, I'm now 21 years old. We're going to war in the Middle East again. I'm now 35 years old. We're going to war in the Middle East. It's like we've now cut taxes for the rich every time and made the poor people poor. I spend $1,200 on food in my household a month. Yeah. It's a lot of fucking food. That's 2 people. I always say, if you're going to be an open heavyweight, especially now more than ever, you better have a good fucking job.
Yeah.
Because you got to eat. And that's only me eating like 3,600 calories a day. And that's with me supplementing free 250 from Rocks. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a cheap sport.
It's not.
And that's not including entry fees and flights and like
all that
and
shit
lifting gear.
Fast,
Like you look at my lifting bag, it's easily, close to $1,000 in lifting gear between the SBD belt, sleeves, underbelt, wrist straps, band, shoes, like just the bag itself. Like what the fuck?
That's
an expensive
crazy,
sport.
Man. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Always a
We had
pleasure.
good one. Yeah, it's always good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
I always learn a lot. So, anytime you're down to come back, I want to get a couple people together, some pretty well-known people, and have a big podcast. Have you guys discuss some shit?
Yeah.
I'm already writing up a list of what I want to be brought up. See how much we can have you guys argue but not argue. See how that goes. But I appreciate it.
No, it was a pleasure.
Yeah,
always nice.
All right, well, this is the Psychotic Drink Podcast. This is Tyler Toby Townsend.
Eric Carlson.
Thank you, bud.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.